I was forced to sell my gold today. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to Empire Precious Metals. Thanks so much for watching. Yes, as I just said at the start of this video and as the thumbnail and title suggests, I was forced to sell my gold today. Luckily, it wasn't all of it, but I did have to sell a substantial amount, and I'm going to get into why I had to sell some gold. But before I do, I'm just going to let you guys know what it was that I did sell, and that's right here. This was the tube of buffaloes, the buffalo herd. Those of you that are new to stacking, gold buffalo coin is very popular here in the United States. These are 1 ounce pure gold beauties here, and a tube consists of 20. So I ended up selling 7. So now I am down to lucky number 13. So what happened? All right, where do we start? Early December, essentially. And the reason I'm getting into this too, guys, is because some of you have told me that you had to sell your gold and you've been beating yourself up over it. And I just want to share with you that we're all in the same boat at one point or another. So early December, our fridge has a leak, ruins the kitchen floors. The kitchen floor needed to be redone. And because it's an open floor plan, it couldn't just be the one section. It had to be the entire floor. On top of that, the floor, it had to match upstairs as well. You couldn't just do one floor and stain it one color and then leave the other floor the way it was. So essentially, we had to do both the downstairs and the upstairs. But it didn't stop there. We couldn't stay in the house when this was being done. And because of the open floor plan, everything needed to be moved out of the home. So we had to hire a moving company, get everything out of the upstairs and the downstairs, move that all out. We had to stay in a hotel for about 2 weeks. And this was all right around the time of the holidays. So we had holidays, which is expensive, as you all know. In addition to doing all of the flooring, having to get that redone, having to pay movers to get us out, and having to stay in a hotel for 2 weeks, paying for food, all of that stuff. So that wasn't just it either. And that was a substantial amount of money. But on top of that, being that it was right around the holidays, we had to pay for all the gifts for the kids, family members, etc. And then on top of that, I had family members that I was going to visit in Florida. So my family had to fly down to Florida, which is another big expense. And lo and behold, that gigantic ball of financial doom, that essentially we were going to have it all covered, and it didn't stop there. Then my wife had some major issues with her car, another $7,000 there, and it just continued to pile up. And one thing led to another, and I just said, you know what, enough is enough. After talking to a good friend here on YouTube, Spectacular, he just convinced me, dude, just go sell some of your gold and be done with it. So I did what the man said, and also my friend Cobra Stacker over in the UK. Definitely check out both channels. So I ended up selling some buffaloes. The one thing I was considering doing was selling some of my collectible gold, such as the Spanish wild animals, or whatever the heck it's called, the Spain Royal Spanish Mint doubloons series. I've got 4 of the 5. I was thinking about selling that series off because the 5th one comes out in June and the price of gold is making things so expensive. But the reason I went with the buffaloes is because they are so replaceable. The buffaloes are minted in the millions. They are not rare. You can get them so easily. They are bought and sold just for the bullion. That is it. So I decided to sell off some of the buffaloes, give myself some breathing room once and for all, and just to kind of get my head above that massive amount of financial burden that we had. The reason I'm going over this in this video is because I want to share with you that I get comments all the time from people saying that they had to sell some of their gold, whether it was because of medical issues, or they were looking to get some real estate, or they had some unforeseen expenses that they had to pay for, like I just did myself. So I totally understand the mental anguish some of you may have when you go to sell your gold. I get it 100%. I kind of feel right now, and I've been a dealer for about 6 years myself personally, I feel kind of like man, a piece of me is missing. Like you kind of feel like you lost a limb or something. No offense to those of you that might have a missing limb, but it feels, it's rough. It's a rough feeling, and I get it. And again, being that I'm a dealer and I've bought and sold millions of dollars worth of coins over the last 6 years, this is part of my stack. This isn't my inventory stack. So I get it and I feel it, and I totally understand, what you guys feel when you have to do a similar thing. But on the bright side, this is a form of savings, which all of us in the stacking community totally understand. This is a savings. It's a hedge against inflation. Now, when I purchased this gold, I purchased it for a lower price. I sold it at a higher price. And because this is owned by my business, essentially I'm going to be doing a bridge loan to myself. So a lot of you here within the stacking community, be the bank or be your own bank. What does that mean? You want to build up enough of a savings that you can essentially tap into it from time to time if you need to, but you have to go and pay yourself back. And this is something I was talking to Spectacular on the phone about. I told him, dude, I sold a couple ounces of gold or whatever, and I have to make sure that I put that back. I have to pay myself back. He's like, what are you talking about? And I explained to him that these gold coins are part of the business, that I use them for educational purposes, and that I need to make sure that I put that money back. It's just a good habit. You don't want to tap into the money and just not replenish it. So over time, my goal, again, being that I'm more than halfway there now, I got 13. I'm going to be putting that money back into the tube. I'll sell off some more collectibles if I need to. To me, I'm a completist. I need to make sure that that tube is intact and that I get the herd back to its full capacity of 20 Buffalo coins. What am I going to do this? Again, like I said, I'm going to be selling some of my collectibles that I don't really care for too much. There's higher premium on those items, so I'm going to be able to make some profits on those. And over time, just saving, working, and putting that money right into the gold, as I've been doing all along, as many of you have been doing all along. The purpose, again, of this video is to let you know that, again, you're not alone. Everybody, once in a while, has to make these unforeseen payments, and that's what the gold is there for. If you face a similar situation, I highly recommend that you do what I did, and that is to sell off the stuff that is extremely easy to find and replaceable. Again, I thought of selling some of the Spanish doubloon coins that I have just because I was thinking about abandoning the series. But because I've got these gold buffaloes and that they are not rare, they are very easily replaceable, that's what I decided to do. So I'm going to keep the variety that I still have, and then I'm going to just start replacing the buffaloes. I will be posting here on YouTube and on Instagram. Make sure you follow me there. My journey going back to filling this tube back to 20. I'm the type of person too that I am very impatient. So I'm definitely going to be trying to get that filled as soon as possible. The last thing I was going to say too is I happen to have other coins that are also dime a dozen, like gold eagles, etc. And I have fractional stuff too. I decided to hang on to that stuff, even though there's a higher premium, because I could sell off those fractional things at a later date for a higher premium, make more profit on those, but I will buy the gold buffaloes at wholesale, and replenish my stack, the herd, if you will. I'm curious, those of you that are watching this video, if you've gone through the same thing, let me know in the comments below what it is that you ended up having to sell, what you sold, why did you sell it? And again, guys, if you're one of those people that you don't want to share, obviously, then don't put it in the comments below. But I'm very curious as to, what it is that you have done yourself. 7 ounces to refill this tube. It's going to take a while. Right now, the price on my wholesaler for gold buffaloes is running around. In fact, I'm going to check this now, because now I am curious. If I were to go and buy this now, my camera's blocking. That's why I'm like bobbing and weaving over here. Buffaloes. Yeah, they're going to cost me around $3,500, and that's wholesale. I'm not giving you guys the exact price, but around $3,450 to $3,500 per buffalo. hopefully price of gold drops. I don't think it's going to drop anytime soon. So that being said, whatever the price is, I am just going to buy the gold. That's what I've done all along, and it's worked. I've bought gold at its all-time highs. I've bought gold when it wasn't at its all-time highs, and it's just paid off. So you got to continue to stack. You got to continue to, buy the gold, stack, add to your positions frequently or steadily, and the rest will take care of itself. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Thank you so much for listening, guys, and I will see you on the next one.